Lesson 611 is division of decimals by whole numbers. Our objective today is we'll be able to discuss how estimation can be used to place the decimal point when dividing decimals by whole numbers. We'll also be able to perform operations with multi-digit whole numbers and with decimals to the hundredths. Let's warm up by rounding the number to the given place value. So we'll start with this first one right here. Write 5 7/10. Now round it to the nearest whole number. If we look at 5 7/10, 5 7/10, we know that we are looking at the 7 and it is the boss of the 5, and that is going to round this to 6. Write 108 12/100ths. Round it to the nearest 10th. So looking at that number, we're going to be rounding the 1 because it is in the 10th place, and the 2 is going to be the boss. The 2 is below 5, so it's going to tell the 1 to stay. So our answer should be rounded to 108.1. That handwriting is not good. Write 0 753 thousandths. Round it to the nearest hundredth. So we'll look at this and we see that the 5 is in the hundredths place, the 3 is in the thousandths. The 3 is going to tell the 5 either stay at 5 or go up to 6, and we know that it's going to stay. So this should be 0.76. We'll just do one of these for another warm up. Let's choose this bottom one right here. I want you to write 805.6353, and then you're going to round it to the nearest hundredth place. So again, when we're looking at this, I know that the 3 is in the hundredths place. And so this 5 right here is going to tell my 3 whether to stay at 3 or go up to 4. Well, we see that it's a 5, so it should go up to 4. So this answer here is going to be 805.64. 805.64. I hope you got the same answers as I did. Just a reminder that as you're watching this, you can pause at any time to do your work and then continue playing to check your work with us. Here is our math message for today. 4 siblings bought their parents an anniversary gift that cost $84.12, including tax. If they split the cost equally, how much did each sibling pay? Here's where I would like you to pause the video. Try this on your own. Try figuring this question on your own. How much did each sibling pay? Well, I hope that you were able to figure out the division, that this was actually a division problem. And a sample strategy is thinking about the dollars first. $80 divided by 4 is $20 each, and $4 divided by 4 is $1 each. So each sibling would pay $21. Then I thought about the cents. 12 cents divided by 4 is 3 cents each. So each sibling would pay $21 plus 3 cents, resulting in $21.03. Another strategy would be thinking about giving different bills and coins. I knew each sibling could give $20 bill, which would be $80. Then each sibling could give a dollar bill, and that's $84 in all. Then they could each give 3 pennies. That's $84.12 in all. So when each sibling gave the same amount, it would be $21.03. Notice these are two different strategies, but they're still resulting in the same answer. And here's our third strategy, thinking about pennies. $84.12 is the same thing as 8,412 pennies. I used partial quotients division to divide 8,412 by 4. See below right here. So we have 8,412 divided by 4, and that equals 2,103. So each sibling pays 2,103 pennies, or $21.03. When you solve problems involving money, you're working with decimals in a real-world context. So when you evenly distributed money in the math message problem, you solved the decimal division problem 84.12 or 84 and 12 hundredths divided by 4. In the last few lessons, we've learned multiplying decimals. What are two strategies you have learned for multiplying decimals? So in this lesson, we are solving division problems. In the last lesson, 6 and 9, we solved multiplication problems like 1 and 2/10 times 8/10, and we got 96 hundredths, which was the same as taking 12 times 8 equals 96. We ignored those decimal points. This is also true in division problems. So if the divisors and dividends in two division problems have the same digits in the same order, so will the quotients. This means that you can use similar strategy to divide decimals as you did to multiply. Let's review the multiplication strategy, but change it to indicate division. So remember, step 1 was to make an estimate. Here's an example. $80 divided by 4 equals $20. Divide as if the dividend were a whole number. Think of 84 and 12 hundredths as 8,412 and solve 8,412 divided by 4. You'll see that is 2,103. Use that estimate to place the decimal point. Ask yourself, the answer should be close to our estimate, 20. Where should we place the decimal point? How do you know? Well, the decimal point should go between the 1 and the 0 to make 21 and 3 cents because that is the close to 20. Here is a practice problem. Sophie had 6.42 meters of ribbon that she cut into 3 equal length pieces. How long was each piece? I want you to use the strategy we used previously to solve this problem. Again, this is where you could pause the video. First step, write a number model. 6.42 divided by 3 equals P. Second, make your estimate. Here's a sample. 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Third step, divide as if the dividend were a whole number. 642 divided by 3. You would get 214. Use the estimate to place the decimal point. Ask yourself, the answer should be close to 2. Where should I put the decimal point? How do you know? Well, the decimal point should go between the 2 and the 1 right here because my estimate was 2. So 2.14 is close to 2. Remember when we did the multiplication, I listed out a few different examples of where I could put my decimal. So doing that again, we have 214. You could have 0.214. You could have 2.14. You could have 21.4. And then you could have that 214. Looking at our estimate again, out of the options of where to put our decimal, this one right here was our best bet. 2.14. So your answer to the question of how long is each piece of ribbon? 2.14 meters or 2 and 14 hundredths meters. If we had used 9 divided by 3 equals 3 as our estimate, would we still have been able to use the estimate to place the decimal point? How do you know? Estimates only need to be precise enough to help determine whether the quotient is in the ones, tens, hundreds, and so on. So yes, 9 divided by 3 would still give us a close enough estimate to help us decide where to put that decimal. Because looking back at it, we can see that 2.14 out of these options is the closest thing to 3. Brandy bought 1 27 pounds of mixed nuts. She divided the nuts equally into 4 bags. How many pounds of nuts are in each bag? Identify a number model and create an estimate. Then solve using partial quotients. Pause your video now. So a number model could be 1.27 divided by 4 equals B. Our estimate would be 1 divided by 4, which would give us an answer of 1/4 or something less than 1. Here's some sample work. Is the quotient closer to 31 or 32? How do you know? We have 127 divided by 4 approximately or is about equal to 32. So when you see this symbol, that means it's about equal. Where should we place the decimal point to find the answer to 1.27 divided by 4? Why? Well, because 32 is the quotient for 127 divided by 4 rounded to the nearest whole number, 0.32 is the quotient for 1.27 divided by 4 rounded to the nearest hundredth. So now it's your turn to go do pages 224, 225 in your math journal. Pause your video now, go work on your math journal pages independently, and then come back to the video and we'll look at the answers together. Okay, welcome back after working independently in your math journal. Here are the answers, starting with problem 1. 3 sisters set up a lemonade stand. On Wednesday, they made $8.46. If they share the money equally, how much will each sister get? Well, I want to look at the problem first and see what it's asking us. I notice we have 3 sisters and they made $8.46. Then I see this clue word here, equally. And then our question at the end, how much will each sister get? Take a look at their number model. 8.46 divided by 3 equals S. They estimated, they rounded 8.46 to 8, and they divided by 4 because they can easily do 8 divided by 4. 4 is close to 3, and they see that their answer should be around 2. Once you do 846 divided by 3, you should see that it's 282. Placing that decimal in the correct spot, you get the answer of $2.82. Let's clear off our board. Okay. Number 2, Janine is building a bookshelf. She has a board that is 6.77 meters long. She wants to cut it into 5 pieces of equal length. How long will each piece be? Again, looking at our problem, since these are story problems, word problems, we see Janine is building her bookshelf. She has that board, so we've got the length right here, 6.77. She wants to cut it into 5 pieces. Question is, how long will each piece be? So we see her number model. We see that she rounded 6.77 down to 5 because she knows that 5 divided by 5 is 1. And these are close enough that we can do it. Remember, this is just to get us an estimate. We know that our answer has to be somewhere around 1. So taking 677 divided by 5, you get 135. And putting in that decimal to get us closest to 1, you see the decimal goes right here, giving us an answer of 1 35 meters long. Number 3, not a word problem, but still division. We still want to do that estimate. Rounding the 9.44 to 10, rounding the 4 up to a 5, we know that 10 divided by 5 is 2. If you take 944 divided by 4, you should get an answer of 236. Knowing that our answer needs to be close to 2 tells us exactly where to put our decimal. 46 and 8/10 divided by 12, round 46 and 8/10 up to 50, round 12 down to 10. Our estimate is somewhere around 5. You should have, once you've done 468 divided by 12, you should see that and then put your decimal in the correct spot. You should get an answer of 3 9/10. 89 and 9/10 divided by 4, round 89 and 9/10 up to 100. I know that's a bigger jump than we usually do, but remember, it's just for an estimate. It still works. You could have rounded it to 90, but then you would want to round this up to a 5 because you can't easily do 90 divided by 5. So we're picking numbers that we can do in our head. 100 divided by 4, 25. If we take 899 divided by 4, then we put in our decimal, we get 22 5/10, 22 and a half. And our final problem today was number 6, 253 7/10 divided by 6. We round that down to 250. We round the other one down to 5. We know 250 divided by 5 is 50. And so then we get the answer 42 3/10. 42 3/10. Now that you've completed the 611 lesson, don't forget to do your math boxes for lesson 611.